Jane Giroux, Tom McNamara, Mike Morgan's weather, Dean Blovin sports, and Ron Gosden's business report. This is 5 Alive News at 6.
We're in a water rationing period right now.
Watering your lawn on the wrong day in North Oklahoma City could cost you $70. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom McNamara.
And I'm Jane Giroux. It's the first full day of mandatory water rationing in North Oklahoma City, and Water Department officials are enforcing it to the hilt. Workers with the fire and police departments are also helping enforce the plan. As 5 Alive's Anthony Foster reports, simply abiding by the law will help you avoid a costly fine and conserve our water supply in the process.
Tony Davis is a walking example of how the city means business. When it catches residents watering their lawns on the wrong day, Davis's job is to make sure they cut it off.
Like your house is an odd number house, you can only water on odd number days. Okay, this is a 6.
Thinking they're lucky starts, nothing has happened as they start.
Water rationing program.
Oddly enough, most people caught with their sprinklers on tell authorities they either didn't know about the water rationing plan or were confused about the even and odd system. So did you learn any lesson? Is there a moral to this story?
Yes, I'm not going to touch the water anymore.
But enforcing water rationing is no laughing matter. Water department workers are cruising neighborhoods all day looking for violators. Okay. They've received their best tips from concerned neighbors.
They'll call our dispatch service and rat on their neighbors, if you want to say that. But that's most where generated calls. And we do have water service reps out in the area that are looking for the violators at this time. So they'll stop by during their routine work and ask the customers to shut their water off.
No water at all between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. at all.
Okay.
Okay? We just ask that you turn off your water now and observe these rules and regulations.
Turn off the water.
By cooperating, you'll just receive a verbal warning and one of these, an information sheet about the water rationing program. But that's where the leniency ends. If officials are called to your home again, you could receive a fine of $70. Anthony Foster, 5 Alive News.
Now, despite the media attention given to the even and odd watering system, some residents are still confused.
We'll try to shed a little bit of light now. 5 Alive's Anthony Foster is in the newsroom with his reporter's notebook. And Anthony, what parts of the cities are under this plan now? What part of the city is not?
Well, Tom, let's try to clarify it. Anyone living south of North 50th in Oklahoma City's limits is currently under the voluntary plan. But if you live north of North 50th, it is mandatory that you water your lawns on an even-odd basis. That means if your address is even, then by today, being July 6th, being an even day, you're allowed to water your lawn. But let's clarify this also. Regardless of your address, no one is allowed to water their lawns between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. But again, that only applies to those living north of North 50th. No watering between 5 and 10, regardless of address.
All right, warnings for now, $70 in a couple of days, so it behooves everyone to pay attention. Thank you so much. Well, these triple-digit temperatures have not only caused Oklahomans to use more water, also using our air conditioners more often. But what about those who can't afford air conditioning? Well, as 5 Alive's Johnny K. Ramirez reports now from our Enid Bureau, some organizations are giving those people a different way to keep cool.
David Johnson is looking through his fan list.
But there have been other reports today to the contrary. News Team 4's Kelly Ogle joins us now in the newsroom to clear it up. Kelly.
Terry, we've had a lot of phone calls here at the station from people concerned about the reward. A Whitney Moore's Fund will set up at a...
They've reached well over the 150 mark, almost not 200. I feel like we can always use fans.
The Salvation Army is working with 4 other agencies to coordinate the fan drive, but individual donations are encouraged. This is the Senior Citizen Center, the distribution point for the fan drive. Fan donations are dropped off here and then handed out to the needy. James Bryan is one person benefiting from this effort. He says he's grateful for the cool breeze.
I don't know what I'd have done without it. I really don't. Glad somebody around the country helping people that need it.
Officials at Fans for Friends say they'll continue the drive as long as it's needed. In Enid, Johnny K. Ramirez, 5 Alive News.
And if you think you are eligible for a fan or you would like to donate a fan, you can call the Senior Citizen Center in Enid, the number 233-3171. Once again, it's 233-3171.
Today's heat made it twice as difficult for firefighters to put out a house fire early this afternoon. This house is located at 715 Northwest 32nd Street. Fire officials say the fire was caused by a short in this window air conditioning unit. The damage was estimated at $7,000. Fortunately, no one was injured in the incident.
A shootout in South Oklahoma City last night left one man dead and 2 Oklahoma City narcotics officers injured. Now, police say they were making a drug bust at this house on Southwest 31st Street when the incident occurred. They say when they entered the home, 41-year-old Guadalupe Ruiz of Oklahoma City grabbed a pistol and fired it before police could get it away. Police then returned fire, killing Ruiz. The 2 officers injured at the scene have been routinely suspended pending an investigation into the shooting.
A Clayton couple could be the first people in Oklahoma arrested under a new drug law that went into effect Sunday. Authorities say Mark and Teresa West were charged yesterday with possession of amphetamines without a state tax stamp. The stamps are made and sold at the Oklahoma Tax Commission office here in Oklahoma City. The cost of the stamp depends on the type and amount of the drug. Mark and Teresa West were also charged with possession of amphetamines and marijuana and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Cost of their stamp would have been $200.
More than $10,000 worth of tires and small tools have disappeared from an Oklahoma National Guard warehouse. The Guard and the FBI say that more than a dozen insiders may be involved in a scheme to exchange old tires for new ones, then sell them to individuals and businesses in Oklahoma City. Guard officials believe it's been going on for 4 years.
We moved to handle a messy situation. We're not proud of it happening by any means, but we've moved to do what has to be done.
Tomorrow, National Guard officials say they'll ask the guilty parties to turn themselves in or face stiffer penalties. So far, no criminal charges have been filed.
Oklahoma City school children who were held back because of test grades this past year having their second chance.
And we'll show you how these students are taking advantage in order to move ahead.
And we'll show you how franchising is one of the best ways for women to get into business. That's next in our business report.
The big news in the automotive world is Ford's new 4-door Explorer. Southwest Ford has them priced from an unbelievable $16,710 fully equipped. And the good news doesn't stop there. You can buy this Ranger from Southwest Ford at just $89.54. We have a great selection of Rangers, and nobody can beat our prices. When it comes to trucks, Oklahomans have been coming to Southwest Ford for over 23 years.
That's incredible!
No, that's Southwest Ford.
Come to Oklahoma City and Southwest Ford.
Southwest 59th and Penn.
OG&E presents the Smart House Research Project, the home of the future, managed by a master system of computer controls, with lights that come on when you enter a room, then go off when you leave. Temperatures can be controlled for each room independently. Appliances can be programmed to run anytime and can even be turned off by phone. If there's a break-in, the security system activates the alarm and dials the police. OG&E's Smart House is the house of the future, but you can see it today.
This is where I produce the weekend news for 5 Alive. Some of you have sent us letters with suggestions on our weekend weather reports. There's a long gap between 10 o'clock news Friday and Saturday nights and the evening news the next day. Many of you want weather updates on weekend mornings to make your plans early. It's a great idea. From now on Saturday and Sunday mornings on 5 Alive, you'll see the day's forecast at 8 and again at 9 a.m. It'll look like this. Thanks for your comments and ideas, and keep writing, because we have a new attitude.
A large number of men over the age of 40 suffer from occasional chest pain. It can be caused by a number of things, including your heart. If you have chest pains on a regular basis or pains following exertion, you need to see a doctor. At Presbyterian Hospital, we can recommend an experienced doctor and even set the appointment for you. Don't just hope the pains will go away. Call Presbyterian Hospital at 271-5000.
Light trucks, Ford versus Chevy. Compared to the Chevy S10, the Ford Ranger XLT has multi-port electronic fuel injection system, more standard horsepower, more load-pulling torque, more standard payload capacity, and more value with options grouped together for greater savings. There must be something the Chevy S10 has that's more. Oh, here it is. The price.
Buy a special edition Texas Ranger Lariat for an MSRP of just $94.85 with air and deep dish wheels. Hurry.
Well, the sale of new cars tops the business report tonight with Ron Gostin.
Absolutely, Jane. You know, they expect this fall to be a banner year for car sales. 85 and 86 were good years, and analysts say that those loans will be paid off. And so this fall should be a rather good year for car sales. But for the time being, the nation's automobile industry appears to be putting the brakes on slumping sales. Figures for the first half of 1990 are down just 4% compared to 1989. Pulling out of the slump the best is General Motors, off just 2.5% for the first half of the year. Ford is down a little over 8%. Chrysler's still suffering, down 15.5% for the year to date. The current worldwide glut of oil and soggy oil prices is bringing some renegade OPEC countries back in line. Kuwait's new oil minister, Rashid Salam Al-Amiri, says his country is ready to shift priorities and focus on near-term problems. Kuwait is one of several countries that has broken pledges to curtail overproduction. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries is trying to raise crude prices to $18 a barrel. Now, the oil industry has some ground to make up to hit that mark. Here at home, West Texas Intermediate lost 3 cents in today's trading. The barrel price stands at $16.47. No change today in the posted price of Oklahoma Sweet. Other futures-related buying drove the stock market up. The Dow added 26 points to 2904.95. Spot gold off 51 cents to 360.45. Spot silver down 4 cents to $4.89 an ounce. 10 years from now, it's believed that women will run more than half of all small businesses. A healthy number of them will be franchises. Why? Well, 5 Alive's Steve Crowley says franchising is one of the best ways for women to get into business, a situation where she's the boss.
I think I'm a go-getter, and I will pursue something until I get what I want or what I think I need.
Determination. That's why after 12 years of teaching, Donna Toe got an MBA and changed careers from educator to entrepreneur.
I investigated purchasing a pre-established business. I also investigated opening a business, just from scratch myself, and then I researched franchising and decided that franchising was the best way for me for several different reasons.
Because she was inexperienced, Donna liked having a proven format, one she could count on, along with all the marketing support most franchises offer. 3 weeks of extensive training taught her what she needed to know about the framing business. Of course, with a franchise, we do pay for all the support and goodwill. Buy-in costs, royalties, equipment, rent, and supplies add up fast and could easily climb to $100,000 or more. Donna tells us she estimated between $125,000 and $150,000 to open the door. She put up roughly half from savings, and after searching, found a bank that would finance the rest. Now, before you buy into any franchise, do your homework well. Read all you can about the company. The International Franchise Association in Washington, D.C. has most of the facts you'll need on selecting one. I'm Steve Crowley with your Money Report.
That's it for business for this week.
Thank you, Ron.
You
Have a
bet.
good weekend. Chad Meyer says we could be getting into some hotter weather in the next few days, so join us live from the Northeast Oklahoma City backyard in just a few minutes.
And some first and second grade students are getting back on track thanks to summer school.
And if your name's on any one of these lists, give the IRS a call. It looks like they owe you some money.
Save up to 50% during our inventory reduction sale at CNC Electric Lighting and Supply. Ceiling fans, lighting fixtures, every item is reduced up to 50%.
Making a splash, having fun. Long John's home style for everyone. Long John Silver's making a splash.
Crispy fish, oh so hot. The price is great and you get a lot. Long John's home style, making a splash.
Monday through Wednesday, try our 3-piece fish combo for just $1.99.
I love Oklahoma. I like the wildflowers, and I like helping Oklahoma. That's why I use my Oklahoma Heritage Visa and MasterCard. Low interest, convenience, and worldwide acceptance. I like knowing my business stays right here, too. Every time I decide to use my Oklahoma Heritage card, they make a contribution to plant more Oklahoma wildflowers. So it's good for me and Oklahoma.
To apply, call 1-800-456-CARD.
If you're a small car lover scared off by the size of Mercury automobiles, check out the all-new small Mercury Tracer. Check out its small $89.69 sticker price. Then very carefully walk right up to one and take a test drive. Tracer, it's nothing to be afraid of.
Nothing moves you like a Mercury.
Five Alive's backyard weather is once again on the road tonight. We're visiting the backyard of Mr. and Mrs. Bob Proctor
That's
tonight.
right. Their house is on Acreview Drive in northeast Oklahoma City, and Chad Myers joins us live now from their backyard. Hey.
Hi, Jane. How are you? I feel
Fine.
like an urban cowboy with my suit, my 5, and my cowboy hat on, and I'm atop Mr. Hickory Rio, trained by Ronnie Proctor, Bobby and Bob Proctor's son. A great-looking horse here, and also a very well-trained horse. He's been standing here for about 5 minutes and hasn't given me a little bit of trouble. With the microphone in my hand, we might have a shortened weather if he decides to run that way. The microphone will stay here, and I'll be on my way off to northeast Oklahoma City. That's where we are right now, and across Oklahoma City, temperatures are looking pretty good, too. Not as warm as they were yesterday at this time. Temperatures right now, mostly sunny skies out here, 95 degrees. Winds are a little bit gusty here. South winds at 10, keeping things a little bit nice. Not too nice, though. Humidity 34%, making the old, yes, feels like, or the heat index feel like about 98 out here. Pressure is falling just a little bit. No rainfall in the last 24 hours. Now taking a look at our temperatures across the state. Things don't look too bad. We will see temperatures, I'd say, going down into the middle 80s before the whole night's over with. Right now, though, 100 degrees in Altus, much, much cooler, even up into the mid to lower 80s and 70s up as you get farther into Joplin and even up into central Missouri. But right now, we are still stuck in the hot weather here across central Oklahoma. On the satellite picture, things are pretty much sunny all day long here in Oklahoma City. A few scattered thunderstorms across, the northeastern side of Oklahoma, also far northeastern side of Tulsa. But all in all, just some light rain showers at best. Everything else is going to be just sunshine galore. The cumulus clouds we saw a little bit ago are pretty much going away now. No real chance for any significant rainfall in the next, I'd say, 24 to 48 hours. And even on past that, temperatures are going to be going up, and that's going to reduce our temperatures or reduce our chances for rain, at least in the next, I'd say 5 to even maybe 10 days. You better watch out. Just save the water because we're going to need it before the whole year is all over with. 97 in Dallas tomorrow, 100, at least about 105 or so for the area around Mesa, Phoenix, and all the way down into Tucson, Arizona. Now, for our forecast for tonight, looks like this. Warm and humid, isolated thunderstorms, low of 73. And then for tomorrow, warming up nicely again to 97 warm and humid degrees. A chance for some morning showers, but that'll be it. If we don't see showers the next 12, maybe even 18 hours, we're not going to be in our forecast for quite some time. Here's the forecast you can remember. Looks like this. 97 tomorrow, 99 on Sunday, and then the hots come in again Monday and Tuesday, 100 degrees, and then a little bit of a cool down, maybe a backdoor cold front. We could sure use it with 98 degrees on Wednesday. Now, if you'd like to have your backyard in our backyard weather, you certainly can do that. You can write us at 5 Alive. It is box 14555. That's 5 Alive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and the zip is 73113. I'd like to be atop a horse in your backyard if you happen to have one. If not, we'll sit by your pool, or we'll maybe just drink some lemonade in the shade. Send us a card or a postcard or a letter in the mail, and we could get to you next. Jane, back to you.
All right, you are lucky with that horse, Chad, no doubt.
Thanks.
Thanks. Now, upsetting day for one player at Wimbledon today.
Dean Blevins has a story of a man who captured the attention of many, but now he's gone.
Why do I like Ford so much? Several reasons. Quality. Hey, nobody builds them better. That's why Ford has the most repeat buyers. Value. Ford offers preferred equipment packages, so you get all the features you want, and you save a lot of money. And service. The Oklahoma Country Ford dealers take pride in the way they treat their customers. They know you can't be loyal unless you're completely satisfied. See your Oklahoma Country Ford dealer today. The best never rests.
This evening in Project Challenge, summer school students who were held back because of test scores seem to be making the grade. These first and second graders at Eugene Fields Elementary School are learning the basics of math. A simple subtraction problem can be quite a challenge, so their teacher makes sure they understand it.
Let's look here, guys. Have y'all worked it on your, I want you to work it on your paper. 6, you've worked it on your paper? Let me see. Where is it?
90% of these students here will be promoted to a higher grade after this course. Summer school is over for Oklahoma City Public Schools next week. And don't forget, an in-depth look at the career of Oklahoma City's school superintendent is coming up next. Dr. Arthur Steller is preparing for contract negotiations. Now, the Steller Years is a 5 Alive special report on Steller's accomplishments and shortcomings during his past 5 years in office. That's next at 6:30, so stay with us.
Well, Dean's with us now on this Friday evening, and Dean, many thought that the man we're about to see had his last shot at it this year at Wimbledon.
Well, maybe his best shot. I think he'll be back, but certainly he prepared for this, and he thought it would be his best shot. But the label of the best tennis player to never win Wimbledon will stay, at least for another year, for Yvonne Lendl. Today's cast of characters, Fergie here, Princess Di, and a lot of this guy, Stefan Edberg. The top-seeded Lendl Farcourt meets Edberg in the semifinals, and yet another year of disappointment for Lendl, who'd skipped the last two tournaments to prepare for the grass. Edberg wins in straight sets. So for the third straight year, Boris Becker and Edberg meet for the men's title on Sunday. Becker beats Ivan Izovich in 4 sets. Saturday, it'll be Martina Navratilova playing the biggest surprise of this year's Wimbledon, Zina Garrison, in the women's finals. Shocker in the baseball world. St. Louis manager Whitey Herzog resigns as his Cardinals are floundering 14.5 games back of Pittsburgh in the National League East.
I had kind of made up my mind after the 3 games we played in San Francisco. I was totally embarrassed the way my ball club played up there, and I just think that we've underachieved. I don't think I've done a good job as a manager this year. I really just can't get the guys to play, and I think anybody could do a better job than me.
Herzog's had enough of sloppy plays, and here's one of the numerous Cards errors this season. Willie McGee drop kicks the fly ball here. 11 seasons under Herzog, St. Louis wins 3 NL championships and 1 World Series. Interesting development in the hearing with Yankee owner George Steinbrenner. Secondary becomes the issue of Steinbrenner's alleged conspiracy with an alleged gambler. Now the commissioner is more concerned about whether the controversial Steinbrenner is even qualified to own a major league franchise. Yes, look at it closely, Commissioner. After 17 seasons, Steinbrenner could be forced to sell that ball club. Afternoon baseball, Steinbrenner's Yankees playing in extra innings. Worst record in baseball, by the way, 10th inning tied at 0. Cleveland beating Oakland 6-1 in the 8th. Let's go to golf, the Busch Classic, second round. Scott Verplank of Oak Tree out of Oklahoma State shoots a 64 today, 7 under par, barely misses that one. Crowd sees a great day for Verplank and also sees the great player of one of the world's greatest players, Curtis Strange. Let's check the scoreboard. Lanny Watkins in his home state of Virginia leading at 11 under. Mark O'Meara at 10. Scott Verplank and Curtis Strange at -9. To quarter horse racing, you're watching coming up here the footage of Refrigerator, second to the rail here, winning the time trial at Remington for a big race tomorrow. Refrigerator, named after Chicago Bears William Perry, the favorite to win tomorrow's Heritage Place Futurity, the richest race in the history of Remington. ESPN will televise 2 races nationally as post time is 3:30. Briefly, Greg LeMond still 10 minutes back after the 6th stage of the Tour de France. Canadian Steve Bauer continues to wear the yellow jersey. The 1990 U.S. Olympic Festival opens today in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the Dallas Cowboys offensive tackles Nate Newton and Kevin Cogan go to minicamp weighing 370 pounds apiece. Finally, a road trip for the first opponent of the new minor league football team here in Oklahoma City, the Twisters. Last night, an Oklahoma welcome was given the road team who arrived at Will Rogers Airport. The Moscow Bears arrive as a team without a victory, without even scoring a point, but just happy to be here. The Bears in the yellow here have converted athletes all on the team, like quarterback here, Alexander Skevgolski, who was a javelin thrower. Nice spiral on that one. Saturday, game time, 7 o'clock in Del City at Robert Kalsu Stadium. Twisters and the Bears, and I'll be on hand at 6:30 for some of the pregame festivities and the coin toss. Should be fun.
Okay, we have to ask you this. Are sportscasters of Landover breathing a sigh of relief that Ivan Izovich, is that right, was knocked out of the tournament? And they don't have to say his name anymore.
Landover, how about Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
Oklahoma City would be fine.
All right, I'll land over. Thank you very much.
I'm for Boris Bucher. I'm pulling for him.
Okay, we shall
looks
see.
like it's going to be a great weekend to be outdoors.
Here's another look at that 5-day forecast, and we'll be right back.
Hi, we're the McCain brothers. We'd like to take this time to thank you for watching Good Morning Oklahoma. Because you see, if you keep watching, we keep working.
It's the best territory there is, First Interstate Bank territory. Because First Interstate has the best checking account there is. So you can cash your personal check for up to $1,000 in more cities and states than with any other bank system. And with the First Interstate Bank card, you can get cash all across the U.S. through Cirrus ATMs. So open a checking account at First Interstate Bank and discover how nice it is to have a bank that can go the extra mile for you. As a federal prosecutor, Bill Price swore to uphold the law, and before long, he was leading the most widespread cleanup of public corruption in state history. To help our kids stay off drugs, Bill Price started a drug education program that's reached thousands and thousands of young people statewide. Now, Bill Price is running for governor with a vision and a plan. Bill Price, governor. He'll make a difference. He always has.
Catfish Cabin knows you enjoy our full-service restaurant, and we'll keep it that way, but we've added something you're going to love. Over 50 feet of all-you-can-eat buffet at both Catfish Cabin locations, filled with seafood for your dining pleasure. Mexican specialties that will make your mouth water, plus good old American down-home cooking, soups, salads, and desserts, all made from scratch. What more could you ask for? Your choice, all-you-can-eat buffet or full-service restaurant at both Catfish Cabin locations, Northwest 63rd Meridian and Midwest City. If you liked us before, you'll love us now.
It's Friday, and that means two things. The weekend is here, and tonight at 10, Mick Cornett's unforgettable, unbeatable, unbelievable Little League Game of the Week. Don't miss it. Well, contract negotiations for Oklahoma City School Superintendent Arthur Steller begin on Monday. Now, Steller has been praised and criticized by many city leaders in his 5 years on the job. Coming up next year on 5 Alive News, a special report will examine Dr. Steller's career in depth. It's called The Stellar Years, and it's coming up in just a couple of minutes here on 5 Alive, and we hope you'll join us for that. And on this Friday evening, we're joined by some very special guests here in our studio, and Jane is visiting with them right now. Jane.
Special is absolutely right. This is Emily Watson. And Emily, I'm going to get your title all wrong, I'm sure. You're 1990 Oklahoma Tiny Miss of America. And you're how old?
6 years old.
6 years old, and you won a pageant. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And what grade school do you go to?
Northridge.
That's Northridge, and it's in Oklahoma City. And do you want to say hi to all your friends?
Hi.
Hi. And your Aunt Shirley helps you a lot, I know, doesn't she? And Senator Mike Fair is sitting next to us, and he's a friend of yours, and they're all wishing you so much luck when you go to your national pageant in August. And you also have a very special family, right? Tell me about your family. You have a
brother, grandma. Well, I live with my grandma, and aunt, mom.
And your mom. And you told me, Shirley told me actually, your aunt, that your mom is deaf.
Yeah.
And that you know some sign language.
Yeah.
So would you like to say hi? You can look right into that camera, and you can sign hello or whatever you'd like to your mom and to the rest of your family. So
Okay.
tell me what you're doing, and you can sign for us.
Okay.
Okay. You can say your name.
Okay.
And how would that be in sign language?
I don't know.
How about mother? You told me you knew
Yeah.
mother, didn't you? What is that?
Like mother.
Mother. Okay.
Father.
Father.
Grandma.
Grandma.
Grandpa.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No. And is a wave just hello?
Huh?
Is a wave just hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck to you, Emily, and we'll go back to Tom McNamara at the desk. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, sugar and spice and a lot of talent spell success for Emily, and we wish her the best in August in the national pageant. And a reminder now, stay tuned for the Stellar Years. It's coming up next year on 5 Alive News. I'll be joining Jane in the studio. We'll see you then.